You can Dubey sir, you can unmute and start.
So good evening, everyone. It's really nice for me to be back, and I welcome everybody. Uh, like every time we are starting uh, this dialogue on a theme I have taken from the book The Word Within, and the theme is you have created the word problem. You have created the world's problem. This is based on chapter 11 of the book The Word Within. I'll read out the dialogue that took place between Krishnaji and the visitor. Two people came and presently explained that they were Christians and so they wanted to bring about peace in the world. Do not these very labels, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, and so on, keep people separate? As national and economic barriers divide people, so religions with their symbolism, their darkening altars, and their chanting priests keep people apart. Beliefs and dogmas, creeds and ritualism build an insurmountable barrier. It is over these that there have been and there still are vain controversies. It is these that create intolerance and antagonism. It is these that corrupt the mind and the heart. It is the spirit of sectarianism, exclusiveness, and privileges that destroys the unity of man, goodwill, and love. Religion is the way of love in life, not belief. It is action without the self, and its private motives and not ritualism. It is the search for the highest without corrupting dogma. When one asserts that one is a Christian or a Hindu, an American or an Englishman, there goes with it a certain pride and power which inevitably creates barriers between people. And when they say they are Christians, are they not aware of all its implications? Are they not aware of the insignificance of the label and the greatness of reality? The more they are concerned with the petty, is that not the less of the real? Love, compassion, goodwill, these do not need a label. And it is these that will bring peace to the world. Neither mere economic adjustment, nor the domination of one or two peoples, nor technical advancement can bring peace. On the contrary, without a change of heart, these can bring about only greater and more destructive catastrophes. To bring peace to the world, you must begin with yourself. For you are the world. What you are, the world is. If you are greedy, competitive, seeking privilege and profit, attached to this or that label, jealous and passionate, then you will have a world in which hate, excuse me, and wars will exist. A world of increasing chaos and tyranny, of ruthlessness and fear. You have created the world's problem, and you are the only person who can solve it. Do not leave it to the specialists, to the politicians, to the leaders. For what you are, the world is. So, this is the uh, dialogue with Kashti and the visitor. Now, uh, we can take a minute and then we can express our understanding.
Recording in progress.
Harshad, you want to break the ice? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Are you able to hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes, whatever Krishnaji is saying is true, but it is not easy to do it in our daily life. Maybe few people can do it. When I was in school, I used to listen to patriotic songs on radio, like Watan ki raah mein watan ke नौजवान शहीद हो, और ए मेरे वतन के लोगों, और सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. So I was brought up. I got it, nobody told me, but by listening to radio songs, I begin to feel that our country is the best. And because I had not gone anywhere else, and only when I went to America, and then I could see more clearly, especially after reading what Krishnaji was saying, that you are a human being. You are not Indian or Hindu or Chinese, because deep down we are not different than whether they are American or Chinese. Psychological thinking is very, very similar. We all suffer from many problems. So I could verify it that yes, what Krishnaji says is true. There are two ways where we can feel that we are not level. Either we go far away from the planet Earth and look at the whole Earth, how beautiful it looks, and there are 7 billion people. And so when we go very, very far, we feel that, oh, how beautiful this planet is. But when we come close, and then we see that countries are fighting in the name of religion and nationalities. And another way is to go very deep within ourselves, where even the thinking has not come. So going in a state where our mind is very silent and not even thinking arising, in that state, there is no such feeling that I am an Indian or a Hindu, and we are connected in that state with the whole. So either we go very, very far from the planet, or we go very, very deep within ourselves, and we can realize what Krishnaji says is true. Only difficulty, it may be true for few people who have the ability or who have the passion to look deeper or imagine going far away. Otherwise, we are very much occupied, and our whole education is such that it is encouraging this division. Because when you watch videos on YouTube, they are all about against Pakistan, against for India, or against some party, political party. So all this, we are living in a world which is already divided very, very, and not only religious and nationalistic division, but at every level, coming even within the family, there may be problems between husband and wife, or brother and sister, father and son. And we read that in the newspaper, very, very serious problem. So we are living in such a divided, very violent world. So to come out from this, one has to read Krishnamurti books, be alone, and going deeper within ourselves and realize the truth that what you are, the world is, he says. So if there is no peace within ourselves, how we can create peace? And even if there is a peace within us, it's not possible to create peace because it also depends on people who are listening to Krishnamurti or some people who have a very wide view of human existence. So, yes, everything what Krishnaji says is true, but it may be possible for very, very few people who feel that what he says is the most important thing. And without that, we get lost in our uh, just earning money and looking after the family and personal problem of becoming somebody in this world. So, okay, I have finished.
Thank you. Thank you, Arshad. I think Ravi wants to say something. Yes, Ravi, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, I'm trying to understand this. Thanks to Osho, credit goes to Osho that I came out long back before coming to Krishnamurti. All the ism had gone, and now I am the whole proud thing have gone, and now I am on subtler conditioning. All the conditioning has gone, but the subtler conditioning is there. Like I'm trying to understand the whole versus individual, and I do see the intellectual part of it, but it's not going into my whole psyche when it comes to me, my place, my mother, or somebody, or goodness or badness. Then I choose one thing that I have to keep this thing for these people and avoid these people. So that way I'm not able to get into that thing which he is talking about. And he says, though we all are trying to reduce the problem all over the world, all over the places India is having, but realizing that this problem cannot be solved on outer surfaces by agitation, revolution, or this and that. Still, I'm not able to penetrate into that thing that Krishnamurti talked about, that all the problems can be solved by you and you only. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. I think Dinesh ji wants to say something. Yes, please, Dinesh ji.
My views on this are, as far as the individual is concerned, whatever he is saying is absolutely matches with what my thinking is and my observation and my experiences. But when we go to the mass, I see that my personality has got limitations and I having my needs. Other person is also having limitations. He is also having his own needs, which are different from me. And I want a group, basically, because I am dependent on other people. So I want a group which can fulfill my requirement and I can also fulfill their requirements. So basically, this group also gives me the convenience, and also it gives me the shelter and security sort of thing. And this nationality is just the extension of this group. So when we see, go deep and see, this group and extension of that as nationality or to some extent religion also is a fact of life. And this is what is. This is, and we say that there should not be a nationality or there should not be any barrier between the people and this thing. That becomes what should be. That's what my thinking is. So it is, in my views, this is too idealistic to have no nations or no groups or this thing. And everybody will be mature that much, which he's suggesting that he will be having love and care for other and affection, and everybody will flower its goodness and all that. So that seems to be too idealistic, or it seems to be what should be. What is we are individually, yes, we can improve on this. Whatever he's saying, we can go for the change, and that is possible. For group, my question to Harshad sir is how practical it is, and also
Yeah.
Dubey sir.
Yeah,
Ashok bhai.
Dubey sir. Okay.
Okay.
There are many groups on Facebook and all over the world. They are meeting and discussing about what Krishnamurti has said and whether we are able to look within ourselves and are able to change our life. Because we cannot change the whole humanity, but there is some possibility for individual when we discuss with other people, and there are many, many people, thousands of people over the world, they are listening to the videos of Krishnamurti. Some of them are discussing on Facebook and so on. So it goes on. It is a very, very slow process. And not only Krishnamurti, but there are many other uh, good people who are attracting people who want to have a wider outlook on life and not just my country and my religion. So, yes, on a small scale, it may be possible. Yeah.
Sir, my question here is, I'm interested in Krishnamurti. I want to learn the teaching and want to live the teachings. As soon as I say that, I make a KFI. And as soon as I make KFI, a boundary is created and a group is created. So again, KFI versus the other religion, other religious people or groups of is formed. So
Yeah.
the question remains, this
Yeah.
is a normal or natural process, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I tell you about when I came to Krishnamurti for 7 years, I was just reading the book and looking within and looking at my life. And some changes begin to happen just by reading. How do you read the book? And not thinking about what he's saying, but looking at our mind, whatever is coming. And that requires curiosity, intensity, and honesty. So when we are really interested in looking at the source of all problems within us, problem like fear or anger, jealousy, violence, when we are curious, then there are some good books available. And then we have to look within, and we cannot discuss with other people so well if we have not understood our own mind. Sometimes it may create more problems in relationship when two people, they don't understand, but then they begin to argue, and then friends can become enemy also. So one has to do the homework, and that doesn't happen during dialogues, but when we are alone and when we can turn our attention inward and come in direct touch with ourselves. Like some people can write whatever coming to their mind so that they come in direct touch with their own mind. And sometimes Krishnaji was advising people to write whatever their mind chattering. So while writing, the mind slows down. Similarly, while looking, also the mind slows down. And then when we are not trying to understand, understanding happens about something. And that is true even in our scientists too. The scientists, they do a lot of work, they do a lot of thinking, then they give up everything. And when they are relaxed, something comes up, some solution, some idea, some insight. So such thing can happen in our life if we are really give all our attention, energy. Okay, I finish.
Thank you, Arshad. I think before I give my understanding to Dinesh ji, I would like to hear Kamlesh ji and then Shakti ji, then I'll say something. So, Kamlesh ji, please go ahead.
Sir, I want to say only one thing. Are you able to listen to me, sir?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I am only saying this, that everywhere JK has said, you are the world. He has said here for the first time, what you are the world is. Here he is treating it like just he has referred to the society, that you are making the society. Similarly, he is saying here that you are making the world. World is affecting yourself, and you are affecting the world. You are connected to it, but the timings may be different. One person is greedy. The whole world is not greedy at that time. So he is clearly saying that you are the world, but you have to see your individuality, and you can flower in your own goodness. So you can be at love and everything, and in the process of self-knowing, from moment to moment, as he has said, everywhere, and perceiving all your thoughts and feelings, then it is possible to flower in goodness. I want to say only this thing, and afterwards I will say something after Shakti ji has said.
Okay, okay. So, Shakti ji, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. You see, in this conversation, in third paragraph, there is religion is the way of love in life, not belief. It is action without the self and its private motives, and not ritualism. It is the search for the highest without corrupting dogma. So when you read it critically, and as Dinesh ji was saying, that this question of group, question of security in group, and that is connected somewhere with our insecurity. And that insecurity, because of that insecurity, we wish to connect with a nation, with a religion, or even with a small group or whatsoever it is. And whether we get that security, that psychological security or not, that is a different matter. So this religion is the way of love in life. Now this is something which is, nobody can refuse it, that love is something which attracts all of us with all its meanings, different hues. But when he says the search for the highest, it's not with everyone. For example, when I look within myself, there is no search for the highest. It's the search for a way of life which might be different. And when he says, without a change of heart, these can bring you about only greater and more destructive catastrophes. So these labels, without a change of heart, here I get some clue, as Harshad ji was saying, that it is subject to experiment. What happens when one is watching within, when there is observation? What happens to our usual tendencies in those moments? Do the patterns change or do they remain the same? That is very important, I think, for all of us. Without accepting an answer from Krishnamurti, this is a question we have to put to ourselves and we have to answer it. And as he says here, to bring peace to the world, you must begin with yourself, for you are the world. What you are, the world is. You see, this, if this is true, and this sounds true, but we cannot vouch for it because within me there is something which is, the world is over there and I am here. So you are the world. But we get some inkling of this thing that when we say changing society, so if each person changes within himself or herself, then only the change can come into society. So that is very rational. But the only question that remains is, and perhaps Harshad ji can address this question in a broader way because he has been experimenting with these things. What happens when I have some sort of tendency, some sort of hardening within that, there is some prejudice or something like this. So when you go deeper into yourself and when you are really observing without making noise within yourself, without, in a way, if we can say that, without the observer, because observer is the past interfering in the observation. What happens to our tendencies in those moments? This is a question I think worth asking. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shakti ji. Before I ask Prakash ji, I would like to share my understanding with Dinesh ji. I think the 2 points that he broadly mentioned were, he said that Krishnamurti talks about a situation which is idealistic. And second point he said is being with a group or like-minded people gives me security. Both are true. But my submission is the kind of security we are talking about, is it really giving me the security that I need? Because the society is not different from me. I am what the society is. And you know, this is how the security developed, because people were living in the tribal way. They had their own clan. They felt secure when they are together. I'm not talking of physical security. One may have that. But is there anything like psychological security? I think that is something that one has to ask oneself. And if we say right in the beginning that what Krishnamurti is talking about is not what is, but what should be, then I am putting something which is in future. And my energy will not flow to examine that. So let's have an open mind and let's see what he's talking about. Is it possible to be secure without being a part of any group? You know, let's take a case of, I mean, you can go to the gross level, say somebody from UP, he's from Western UP, he's fighting with people from the Eastern UP. Then there are caste groups, and then there are hierarchy in the same caste. So where is the security? We are a divided lot. But can I at one moment just see that this is my conditioning, watch it, without saying that I have to achieve anything, just observation, plain observation, without condemnation or appreciation. Can I just see it? My own gut feeling, and if I can call it experience, is that if I'm able to watch my conditioning, that is the beginning of freedom. I don't know what happens when I'm completely free of conditioning. I don't know that stage. But anything that I'm aware of, I can see a change happening. That is where I have to begin, because that's what I am. So I'll say, let's not put labels that it is very difficult to do, because if I do that, then I make it difficult. No energy flows to that. But if I say that, well, let's find out what he's saying. Is it right? It's not true for me because I feel I'm more secure when I'm with like-minded people. But can I Just look into it. Why do I feel security? So I think let's just start with an open mind and see where it takes us. That is where I will begin.
Sir, what I was trying to say, as far as individual is concerned, yes, one can change and he can go for that highest security or highest position, what Krishnamurti is indicating or trying to suggest. As far as group is concerned, there are two different things. One, my freedom from the conditioning. Yes, one should work for it. But as far as this group issue is concerned, if you see the totality of this, then really whether it can change. That's what my question was. Individuality, I am not asking any question. Yes, one has to go for the total freedom from individuality.
I think, Dineshji, if my aim is to change the group or society, then I think one should become a social reformer like Dayanand Saraswati or Christ or somebody else, because even they were not able to change the society. But I think the beginning has to be made with me, I, where I am. That is the threshold I have to begin with. And I'm not, I mean, if I change, people around me change. You know, Gandhiji in Sabarmati Ashram used to clean his own toilet. He didn't say anybody anything, but people started cleaning their own toilets. So it makes a difference. If you change, people, they may be a very, minuscule minority who are around you, but there'll be change in them. I'm not saying I'm doing it because I want people to change. But I feel comfortable if I do this. I want to do it for myself because I feel
I am responsible for myself. Yes.
Exactly. That is all. I don't go beyond that. Yes, Prakashji wants to say something.
नमस्कार.
हाँ, please go ahead.
नमस्कार सभी को. अभी जो बात हुई उसमें मैं कुछ कहना जो चाह रहा था वो दुबे जी ने बहुत कुछ कह ही दिया है. इसमें पूरे जो टॉक है उसमें दो प्रश्न खड़े हो रहे हैं जिनको कि क्या नेशंस, कास्ट या इस तरीके की जो चीजें जो यूनिवर्सली हैं वो रहेंगी या नहीं रहेंगी. अगर हम इस चीज को देखें तो पूरा वर्ल्ड जो है नेशंस में डिवाइडेड है, कास्ट में डिवाइडेड है. क्रिश्चियंस में भी कास्ट हैं, हिंदुइज्म में भी कास्ट हैं, मुस्लिम में भी कास्ट हैं. तो सभी जगह कास्टिज्म जो है पूरे वर्ल्ड में है. इसी प्रकार नेशंस जो है पूरे पृथ्वी जो है पूरे इसमें बटी हुई है. पर और इसको क्वेश्चन भी करें अपन तो हमारा को क्या लगता है कि आने वाले 50 सालों में ये खत्म होगा या 100 सालों में नेशंस खत्म हो जाएंगे. तो एक तरफ तो जवाब आता है कि नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. तो फिर कृष्णमूर्ति किस चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं या किस यू आर दी वर्ल्ड से क्या आशय है. तो यहाँ पे जाके जो है इस संबंध में एक प्रयोग जो है अरविंदो के यहाँ मदर ने भी किया था. एक ओरोविला करके उन्होंने एक बस्ती बसाई थी जिसमें पूरे वर्ल्ड के लोगों को उन्होंने एकत्र किया था कि सब आके यहाँ पे एक साथ रहेंगे. पर वो ज्यादा सक्सेस नहीं हुआ. अभी भी चल रहा है अपने पांडेचेरी में, अभी भी है वो. तो इस चेंज की बात कृष्णमूर्ति कर रहे थे कि सबको इकट्ठा रहना है या और किसी चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे जाके हम जब देखते हैं तो ये पता चलता है कि वो एंडिंग ऑफ सेल्फ की बात कर रहे हैं. एंडिंग ऑफ सेल्फ से उनका क्या आशय है और एक व्यक्ति का ईगो खत्म होता है तो उससे कितना परिवर्तन आता है. तो हम कृष्णमूर्ति को देखें, ओशो को देखें, निसर्गदत्त महाराज को देखें, जिनका कह सकते हैं कि ईगो खत्म हुआ. और कृष्णमूर्ति के पास या ओशो के पास ओशो के पास तो करीब करीब पूरे विश्व के हर कंट्री के लोग आए, कहीं कोई बाधा नहीं थी. कृष्णमूर्ति के पास भी इसी तरह से जो है विभिन्न देशों के लोग आए जिनके मन में कोई नेशनलिज्म का या ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं था, भाव ही नहीं था, वो खत्म हो गया था. ये निसर्गदत्त महाराज के इसमें एक रमेश बालजेकर जी जो उनके शिष्य थे तो मुंबई में जब हम उनसे मिलने गए थे तो करीब सुबह 9 बजे के समय जब हम मिलने गए तो उन्होंने 9 बजे ही वो ऊपर एंट्री देते थे, उन्होंने 5th-6th फ्लोर पे उनका वो था। तो नीचे करीब करीब 50 पूरे विश्व के देशों से लोग आके और खड़े हुए थे, और 9 बजे जब उन्होंने एंट्री करी तो सब लोग ऊपर गए। तो ऐसे सेल्फ जब खत्म होता है तो पूरे विश्व से लोग जो है एकत्रित होना शुरू हुए, तो इसमें कोई बाधा नहीं आई। तो एक तो ये चीज है कि जब खुद के अंदर का कहीं सेल्फ खत्म होता है तो वो जो है वो दूसरे लोगों की बाउंड्रीज भी तोड़ता है, और उसमें जो है कहीं कोई समस्या नहीं आती है। तो कृष्णमूर्ति जी शायद इसी चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं कि जब एक आदमी के अंदर परिवर्तन आएगा, जैसा कि अभी दुबे जी ने भी कहा, और वर्ल्ड से आशय उनका ये भी था कि आपसे रिलेटेड जो लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, आपका परिवार, आपके मित्र, आपका सर्कल, आपकी जहां तक लिमिटेशन है वही आपका संसार है, बाकी जो है उससे क्या कर सकते हो आप। तो ये जो चीजें हैं, और इस तरीके का परिवर्तन जब एक बुद्ध में परिवर्तन आया तो उन्होंने लाखों लोगों के जीवन को जो है परिवर्तित किया है, और 2500 साल बाद भी जो है उसकी जो है वो चेंजेस की वो जो है संभावना अभी भी कहीं ना कहीं चल रही है, और लोग बुद्ध को पढ़ते हैं, बुद्ध को सुनते हैं, बुद्ध को समझते हैं। तो 2500 साल का इतना लंबा पीरियड, तो क्यों वो ज्योति अभी तक चल रही है? तो इसके पीछे यही है कि एक आदमी का जब सेल्फ समाप्त होता है तो पूरे विश्व की जो है वो कॉन्शियसनेस को प्रभावित करता है, और एक सीमित समय के लिए नहीं, असीमित समय के लिए जो है वो पूरे मानव जाति के चेतना को प्रभावित करता है। ऐसे ही कृष्णमूर्ति को देख लें या ओशो को देख लें, कृष्णमूर्ति को गए आज 35 साल के करीब होने आए हैं, ओशो को भी करीब करीब जो है 30 साल होने आए हैं। पर अब ये कब तक चलेगी? उनका जो किया हुआ है, उनका जो साहित्य है, वो कितने लोगों को प्रभावित करेगा और कब करेगा, कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता। तो एक यही है कि तो पूरे सूत्र को जब मैंने ये वर्ल्ड विद इन की जो किताब है इसको पढ़ा था, तो मैंने उसका एक जिस्ट निकाला था जो जय गुरुदेव जो कहते थे। मुझे लगा कि पूरा ये जो है उसमें समाहित हुआ कि हम बदलेंगे तो युग बदलेगा। तो हम बदलेंगे उस पर ज्यादा जोर दें, न कि युग के ऊपर ध्यान दें कि वो बदल रहा है कि नहीं बदल रहा है। ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था, तो वो मैंने कहा। थैंक यू सर।
Yes, Ravi, you want to say something?
क्या एक्चुअली मोडक जी ने जो कहा उससे मुझे कुछ रियलाइज हुआ कि changes could happen.
Please speak in English. There are people who would not understand Hindi.
Sorry.
Yeah, please.
I think my net is gone. So somebody can take over because I think I'm not able to speak on this.
Okay. Yes, Shakti ji wants to say something. Yes, Shakti ji, go ahead. Unmute, yeah.
See, this the question of nationalism and religion is very complex. You see, Sahir Saab, because Arshad ji was talking about some Hindi movie songs and all that. And Sahir Saab has also written, you must have heard it, that Malik ne har इंसान को इंसान बनाया, हमने उसे हिंदू या मुसलमान बनाया, कुदरत ने तो बख्शी थी हमें एक ही धरती, हमने कहीं भारत कहीं ईरान बनाया. तो there are different voices, and I have read Krishnamurti, I have thought about the question of nationalism. At the same time, when there is this national anthem, I feel nice about it. Nationalism doesn't mean that I disregard other nations. That is a factual thing today. And but ultimately, the world is one, as in Yajurveda there is Prithvi Sukta, that the earth is our mother. So unless there is this friendship, friendliness, unless there is this feeling of working together, that is very important. And that is, I think, part of love. And at the same time, I have to see within myself that any group or any establishment, when I am seeking psychological security in it, whether that is an illusion or whether it is something factual. And it doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much time to find out that any search for psychological security is something which doesn't have a real base. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shakti-ji. Thank you. Yes,
Here I would like to
Dinesh-ji after Anand-ji. Let Anand-ji say something.
Okay.
Then Dinesh-ji. Yeah.
So, I mean, when I talk about nations, how do I understand the moment I have these nations, this fragmentation, and this fragmentation, I mean, causes conflict. One group versus the another. I say I'm a Hindu, the other person calls himself a Muslim. Can I see there's a conflict? That is all I wanted to say. So when we are talking about the nations, I mean, he did talk about someone singing a song, you know, I mean, this earth is ours. We only put it in words. We don't believe in that. This earth not only belongs to you and me, it belongs to every living creature. It is not yours and mine. We are making it very petty and small when we talk about my nation and your nation. And there's a division, which is one of the main reasons there's so much of violence on this planet. So much of killings are going on throughout the world, even right now, in the name of these nations. And again, I say I should not be selfish. I should not have nations, but then we must be friends. Again, I'm caught in ideals. Can I look at that as a question, sir? Over.
Thank you, Anand-ji. I only want to add that what you said is absolutely right. Can I remain at the factual level? It's a fact that I belong to India. Somebody else belongs to maybe Pakistan or Sri Lanka. That is a fact. Who has created that geographical boundary? I don't know. For whatever reasons, it is there. But the moment I get attached that this is my country and I'm proud of it and so on, that's the place where division comes. So long I remain with the fact, there'll be no division. That the problem is that the human mind always creates, first of all, it doesn't want to stay with facts, it wants to add value to it. That, you know, my country and I have a 60,000-year-old civilization and so on. How can I say that without examining the civilizations of other countries and other civilizations? So these are things, I think, instead of having a very crystallized idea, can I hold all these notions of religion or caste or nation very loosely so that I can see the truth in it? The moment I see that if I say I'm Indian, I'm creating division. Or if I belong to a religion, I create divisions. But the true meaning of religion is something else. It's not the rituals, it's not the dogmas I believe in. So I think one has to have our views in whatever way it is possible to have it very, very lightly. Then only we'll be able to see the other points of view. This is what I wanted to say.
So, can I?
Yes, please.
Sir, I mean, why do I form groups? Why do I have communities? Why do you have states and things like that? I believe that it gives me security. I call myself Hindu because it gives me security. Can I see there is no security? In fact, you know, but then we think it's going to give the security. It also happens with the other group, and therefore there's conflict. Now, the moment I call myself India, there will be some people calling themselves something else. Can I look at that as a question? Not to have nations and etc. Again, I'll be going somewhere else. Can I observe when I call myself, or when I'm in a particular group associated with a particular nation, a group, or a community, it causes so much of violence, so much of conflict, so much of killing. Am I really interested in that is the question, sir. And when I'm talking about my security, again, it is such a very petty little thing. What is happening throughout the world doesn't concern me. I'm only bothered about myself, my group, my community. Can you see again how selfish I am as a human being, which Krishnamurti is talking about? I don't see that.
Can I say something here?
Yes, please.
Can I also see that this group is not only giving me the security, but it is also giving me convenience, it is giving me comfort, it is giving me the pleasure. Basically, it is giving me the pleasure and smooth movement in life, and which is necessary. So group is a fact of life, and it's a must. I have to remain with the people with whom I can adjust. Say, Harshad sir likes songs. I like intellectual discussion. So individuality is different. So I have to adjust with Harshad sir. And for that, I need, for this adjustment, I have to also do some sacrifices. I also require some sacrifice from the others who are like-minded. And so group is a must. It's not a question of only security, sir. Yes, this is a division. But it is a conflict and pleasure. These are the two sides of the same coin. Can I see that, sir? Anand, sir.
Unmute yourself. We are not able to hear. Unmute. Anand, please. Anandji, unmute. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Krishnamurti, in fact, was against having such group discussions. I mean, can I understand that as a question, sir? How these group discussions also, there is conflict. Can I see that also happens? I mean, it is there. Where I very strongly like a person, I very strongly dislike a person. And based on that, there are so many arguments which go on. And you're right when you say, yes, they're all pleasurable activities. Are we really serious? Is a question, sir. Am I really, I wouldn't say we, let me put, am I really serious, sir? Is the question.
Sir, what I would like to say, we are both together trying to explore what is the fact of life. Krishnamurti said something, but we are trying to explore in these groups. Can we go deep and we ourselves, what is our experimentation?
So why would I want to explore, sir? I mean, what is the reason? Why do I want to find?
For my own clarity.
So why do I
make
want
my mind
clarity?
sane and clear? To make, as Krishnamurti said, to make my mind sane and clear, crystal clear, to see the fact without any image.
So why do I want that is the question. Can I see the me, which is the main cause? With the me, which is the cause for everything which is happening around me. Why would I don't want that. Why do I want to end that? That gives me pleasure, that gives me pain.
Me, sir. I want to finish my me. I want to be free from the me.
That's precisely what I'm saying, sir. The moment I say I want to finish with it, see, I'm caught in that. There's a contradiction. I don't want to do it. At the same time, I want to do it. Can you observe that as a question?
My views on this is, if I understand the whole structure of this issue, then I immediately become free of it.
So you're using the word if.
When I say if, as soon as the truth I see, the moment I see the truth, it is clear.
So the moment I use the if, where is the truth, sir? I mean, there's no truth. I want that. There's no ifs and buts in truth. That is the fact.
What Dubey sir has to say on this?
So
I'm only saying let's not cross-examine each other. I think there could be an inquiry which is open-ended, which is not self-centered. I just want to know, there is a sense of curiosity in me, and I want to know because I'm interested in life. And I know that if the kind of life I'm leading is leading to conflict, to misery, ambition creates happiness, sadness, all kinds of things. So I want to know, is there a way possible to get out of this rut? And I'm sincerely trying to examine the way my life is going on. So, and I'm not doing it because I want to be happy. Of course I want to be happy, but I want to know why. Without self, is it possible to look at something deeply? That is what one has to look for. Not because, one can ask questions and everything, which one should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask questions. But am I serious about looking at something in my life? That should be the way out, wherever it takes us. Can we hear somebody else now?
Sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Harshad bhai.
Yeah. There was one song, old song. It says, "Chahe zindagi se kitna tu bhag, tere dil ki bujhegi na aag." So there are a lot of disturbance, and we are afraid to look this disturbance within, and so we are escaping in something else, whether it is a politics or social work or environmental work or something like that. But the real, what Krishnaji is talking about is looking within, but with the freedom. And our mind is so insecure, and this freedom means the death of the ego, the self, and it doesn't want to die. So it doesn't want to look it doesn't want the peace or silence. It doesn't want. So we keep on reading, discussing, but only when we are alone and really not afraid, not escaping from our own whatever disturbing things going on, then there is a possibility of transforming that disturbance. So to stay with what is, what Krishnaji talks about, looking exactly as it is, not what it should be. And that requires the freedom at the beginning. And that is the difficulty, even with people who have read for many, many years what Krishnaji is saying. So that is the difficulty. I think it's the most challenging thing to look without the self, means with freedom at whatever is arising within us. Yeah. Okay, I finished.
I think Harshad bhai summed it very well. We want the world to change without us changing. That is the biggest problem that we have. So can we set aside something which is very dear to us and live without it? That would be the test. Can we start with something like this? Or can we look at our relationship, any relationship, without self?
Yeah.
That would be something to start with. If we can do that, then perhaps we can bring it about in relationships. Problem is that we want convenience. We have a way of life. We are very comfortable. We don't want to change. We want somebody else to make the changes in the world, create heaven for us. Sir, we'll have to create that heaven ourselves. Nobody can create that heaven for us. In whatever situation we are in, am I really looking for a different way of life? If I'm very serious about it, I'll find a way out. I'll find the energy to get into it. You are interested in passing your engineering exam or whatever you are. Don't you put in 8 hours, 10 hours a day to get the kind of rank you want? So similarly, knowing about yourself, you really have to work hard for it. And you want to have enlightenment or whatever you call it just by discussing or reading a passage of Krishnamurti. It doesn't work that way. So it's a hard work, sir. It's really, really hard. One has to get into it. I think Anandji wants to say something. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I mean, K says you remain with what is, sir. He says that. I listen to it. But Do I ever want to remain with what is? There is pain in my life. There is sorrow in my life. There is suffering. I don't remain with it. Can I look at that as a question? I may talk about other things. I talk about freedom, but then do I understand what freedom means? Freedom is not, I can do what I want, behave the way I want, do whatever I want to do. That is not freedom. How do I understand what freedom means again? How do I understand what responsibility is? When so much of, I'm not going back to the violence which is taking place, but how do I understand this, sir, is a question. Why would I want to? He says, now again, I'm looking at a solution. Now, I think now Krishnamurti is giving me answers. Look at the way my mind is working. All the time it's looking for solution or answers. And I think that is going to solve my problems. Krishnamurti cannot solve my problems, sir. Nobody can solve my problems. Can I understand that is the question, sir? Over.
Thank you, Anand. I think Shakti ji wants to say something. Yes, Shakti ji, unmute yourself.
Yes, when Anandji says that this, why don't one stay with what is, or do we stay with what is? That is really one of the most important questions, because usually we stay with what is only till it is comfortable. The moment it becomes uncomfortable, we tend to escape. And when we escape, we are not able to look deeply into that disturbance. So that is really one place where one has to see that it is not always possible to stay with what is possible, in the sense that we don't want, because the escape is so handy. Start thinking about something else, start thinking about the problem itself. With a lot of thinking about it also gives some sort of relief. But a disturbing feeling, to stay with that, that is the challenge that Krishnamurti is presenting, because he's saying, and it has to be clarified with our own experiment, that when you remain with what is, when you are not escaping from the disturbance might have a completely different texture. So this cannot become a belief system. But the questions that Anandji is the questions of all of us, that what happens after reading Krishnamurti for one day, or for 10 years, or for 20 years, what is happening in our daily lives? Is it just that a romance with a specific kind of dialogue with Krishnamurti, because it's very soothing also, but it's very challenging also. So that is, thank you, Anandji, for your questions. Thank you.
Kamlesh ji, you wanted to say something?
Sir, I wanted to say only one thing. In relationship only, we can understand our movement of the self. As Harshad Parekh ji is saying, the emergence of thought. If one is able, and at that particular moment, it is very difficult to watch it patiently. I also agree with Shakti ji. And similarly, we try to find some solution in JK. But unless we follow what he has said, just like follow every thought and feeling, follow every your perception, ending of the perception at the same time, unless we try to do that, then it is very difficult for us to see what he is saying, because we have to see everything from the platform of our own experience, because he might have rejected the religious experiences or experiences of any saints or gurus. but for us, only the platform of experiencing or perceiving or thinking, that is at the same time it is going on, and only that thing connects us with the challenge, and our responses are with that. So we have to be very patiently see, and in that seeing, in that relationship, there is a dissolution, slight dissolution of the self, that it stops for some time, and next otherwise it escapes in the next moment. So if we can be patiently with the particular thing, particular moment of the feeling and thought, which has got its own energy, which is directly coming from our individuality and what we have collected from the world up to this time. So that comes into the being in the moment itself. That is not the past, but it is actually happening with ourselves in the moment, oneself, myself. So if I can remain with that, then something changes. Some more revelation may come. Some more revelation can come about myself in the continuing with the moment itself. I want to say only this. In one instance, he has said that at the moment of feeling there is nothing. There is only that feeling, and the next moment, the observer or something or experiencer or perceiver, then it comes. So we have to stay with that energy, and if we stay with that energy, some changes can occur. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamlesh ji. I think Lakshmi ji wants to say something. Please unmute yourself.
Namaste to all of you.
Yeah, namaste.
I find Krishnamurti has been saying to see ourselves means without any, how to see, that is very important. That is with total attention, without any thought, and with total energy. And when there is no thought, there is no me, no center. So that seeing, generally we are accustomed to deal with the mind only. We want to find that which is unending, also with the mind. We want to, because we are accustomed, in one place, Krishnamurti says, why the world is giving that importance to the world, to the mind. Where the mind is required, we have to use the mind. Where it is not required, it's an instrument. It's a certain instrument. Where it is not required, it shouldn't use. But what we want to do is, we want to find that which cannot be found with mind, we want to find with the mind. And because we are not able to find with the mind, we are vexed. But the mind is not the instrument. We should understand the limitation of the mind. The mind belongs to the past. The mind cannot find which it does not know. One place it says it's a new mind. Means the old mind stops. It cannot find the new mind. When it stops, it understands, for example, what depth is, it cannot know. What it does not know, the mind won't function there. So, no mind means there is no me. I am not there. There is no observer. So, this is not simply to say. It is really, because when the observer is not there, the only seeing without the observing without the observer. So, generally in the day-to-day life, we are not accustomed. So, we say, I don't want to find, I am not finding. Because I is there, the observer is there, then the reality is not there. So that is a very subtle thing and a secret thing and a very essential thing also. The mind always tries to find that which is beyond the mind. And it is failing. And we say it is not there. It is not. Whatever Krishnamurti is saying, it's not a utopia. It's the reality. But in the day-to-day life, which we are accustomed, that is the mind, it cannot be. So it should be stopped. And then what will happen? If the mind won't work, what will happen? Somebody asked Krishnamurti. Then he said, the Supreme Intelligence will work, or a new mind will work. And that working has no past, no brought forward. Generally, we used to remember the past hurt and everything. But there is no, only the present is there. Such a type of mind works. So it's not simply a solicitation. Whatever he says is a reality, but everybody can find that because we are accustomed to the mind and we should serve the mind. That is the important thing. And without the mind, we are not able to do it. But mind won't do that. That point is very essential. So without the mind, I don't know, with that type of attitude, a childlike innocence and with total attention and total energy, if you look, that is the important thing. Every word is important here. What I find is this. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you. Dineshji wants to say something.
I'm having two questions. One is to Harshad sir and one is to this madam. Harshad sir always says that freedom is in the silence. I want to ask Harshad sir, freedom is not in the moment also. This is question number one. Number two to the this madam. You said new mind and you said old mind. Can these both minds not work together?
Okay. Yeah. May I answer about the freedom? Like one participant said something about understanding freedom, but it is not a matter of understanding, but feeling that there is a freedom to look. And as Lakshmi said, in that looking, if there is a me, then it distorts everything. So there is a possibility to look at whether it is a tree or a mountain or to a thought which is coming. So that requires the freedom. So freedom is at the beginning, and that freedom is, it can't be understood verbally, but it can be felt when one has really investigated, means looking inward. And it may be difficult to look inward, but you persist. And maybe at one time, you are able to see without this me, which is distorting everything. And when it happens, then you will say, oh, something new has happened in your way of looking at a tree or a human being, or looking inward. A new way starts with the freedom, which is the freedom from the mind or the self, which is analyzing, thinking about it. So freedom is not a matter of understanding, but feeling it. And somewhere I read a sentence, it says, know the truth, but I don't like the word know. See the truth, and truth shall make you free. That means when we are able to see something exactly as it is, whether it is a tree or a thought arising, then there is this freedom, or freedom is required to see things very, very clearly. And then there are any anger is arising or something, one can see it clearly while it is arising. And that looking, that freedom stops the problem. So our problems are created only because we are not able to see clearly the origin of all these problems, psychological problems. And freedom is required to see everything. And that is our difficulty, because that freedom will not come by our trying, but it can happen by itself. You can't go after it, but it may come to you if you are doing this looking, you have done it, and you are not tired. You don't give up, you don't escape, but you look, keep on looking, something may come, or it may not come. It's like what Krishnaji says, keep the window open and the breeze may come or may not come. So something of that kind of happen, that freedom to look, it may happen by itself. It is not in our this mind, because mind is a block for that freedom. I
Thank
don't
you.
know. Yeah, right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lakshmi ji, you want to answer the second question of Dinesh ji? I think Lakshmi is not there. let me attempt, Dinesh ji, in my own way. I think it's a metaphor with Krishna uses, you know. The way I look at it, I may be wrong, that the old mind is the mind which has all its experiences, knowledge, our conditionings, all is stored in here. Now, so long my mind is full of all this, it's so much, you know, it has to be emptied to bring in something new. And the moment all that is kept in abeyance, where the thought becomes silent, my experience, my knowledge is not interfering in my thought process, then something creative can come up. And that Krishna perhaps calls a new mind. I'm not saying that the new mind and old mind cannot work together, because even the creative thing has to come through the old mind. How will it manifest? It has to come through actions. It becomes knowledge. It becomes experience. So it's not that they can't work together, but you have to keep the old mind in abeyance in order to get to the new mind. That's the way I look at it.
Sir,
Lakshmi
on
ji
this, yeah, Lakshmi wants to say something.
Let her explain. She has used that word. Yes, please go ahead.
This new mind, old mind, these are two different, but the same. They are one part only, one part of the brain. As you said, new mind is it starts working when the old mind stops. What is that old mind? The old mind it works only with the past knowledge, past memories, and so as long as the past memories are there, it is not able to see anything which it doesn't know. The old mind works only in the known field. It cannot work in the unknown field. So whatever we are seeing, whatever thinking, in the known field only, we imagine, that I imagine, my mind imagines. But when the mind understands, it cannot go to that unknown, then it stops automatically. When the old mind understands, it cannot perceive the unknown, then it stops. Then it stops, the new mind works. And as you told, that's right, but the new mind works in such a way, it works in the present. It has no broad power, no memory, no past. And in that minute, in now, that is the present only, it works. And it works in a creative way, it works. It's not the old memories. Generally, it uses the knowledge, but old mind and the new mind, you see, as in our Shastras it is told, the Gunatita will use the mind, the gunas as instruments. Like that, this mind will use the knowledge to do the work. But there is no broad power, there is no memory, past memory, or anything. That is the creative, and it always works in a very new way. That is unknown thing also it sees, but not imagined with the old memories. That is the difference between old and new mind. But it's only for division's sake we are saying. Sometimes the new mind uses the intelligence. So the intelligence works when the old mind stops. That is, we must not go that way with the word. The word is not everything, but
I think we have lost Lakshmi ji.
Sir, my views on this, is, if experiencing of freedom is there, then this freedom can move through both old as well as new mind and create.
Shakti ji wants to say something. Shakti ji.
You know, Dinesh ji raised a question about old mind and new mind working together. It is very different from the capacity to think and the silent brain working side by side. That is a different issue. But when Krishnamurti uses the word old mind and new mind, in that context, I would like to say that it is not possible. You see, old mind has to stop for the new mind to take place. And I have seen it again and again that our whole problem is that we want to keep the both. You see, I want to seek pleasure also. That is the tendency of, if we can use the simile, old mind. And I want to be free of it also. So these are like two different words. That is how I look at it. Just I wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakti ji. Thank you. I think we have Anand ji saying something. Please unmute yourself.
So, I mean, as always, we are caught in words, sir. I mean, words mean everything to us, and the words are me. In fact, if you seriously understand, the word is not different from me. Now, when we say to end something, it doesn't literally mean end it, because functionally it is required for me. I need to know where I am, where I'm going. It is required to day-to-day function. So it is nothing wrong. Now, when we're talking about ending it, or, you know, I mean, the new and old, I wonder what is new and what is old, sir. Now, when there's a perception of, when there's a clarity of something, I have a clarity. There's a perception of it. It ends. That's all there is. Nothing happens to my old or the new. These are the words we are using. The brain has to function. It is required to function. It requires all the information. Nothing of that is going to disappear. And scientifically, if you look at it, which I'm going off the subject, we use only very small part of a brain. It's just about 7 to 8%. 92%, 93% of it's still vacant. It's not been used. That's out of the subject. But so that is what I want to say. So we are caught in words. End does not mean end. That's a big misconception. I cannot end it. There's no ending it. It is there. There's a clarity. Out of the clarity, I mean, I act. That's all there is. Then when again I talk about freedom, sir, again, it's such a big word. We keep using it, you know. I mean, when I say it stops the problem, the moment I say it stops the problem, again, I'm caught in time. Again, I'm saying that it should stop. Then I have clarity. I'm better and things like that. Freedom, again, how do I understand what freedom is? It's very essential. I mean, am I sensitive? Do I care? Is there an affection? Is what is one has to look into it. Like I said, you know, I mean, it's not that, you know, I just go, I walk around and I see the lovely plants and sunset and sunrise. These are all pleasurable activities. Let me see if I can stop myself going out for 1 or 2 weeks out and don't go into walk into any of these gardens and things like that. I mean, see how I feel about it. It has become a habit for me. It's a pleasurable activity. When I see something, when the observation is there, someone is saying, you know, this observer is not different from the observation. That is quite a challenging thing for anyone to understand. When does that happen, sir? When there's care, when there's an affection, not affection for my family, not affection for myself or my little world. Again, I'm coming back to the same thing, sir. I mean, do we really care what's happening? That's all I'm asking. Or when I'm concerned about myself and my family and my improvement, I'm back to my conditioning. That ego is operating. I should understand what Kay is talking about. I want to be, I want to know what freedom is. I want to know, I understand what freedom is. I want to understand what love is. It's a very small thing. So can I see all the time how it is going around myself all the time? I have many ways and means to find, to put it across. But if I look at it, I'm orbiting around myself all the time. Whatever I may say, it may sound very intelligent and whatever, intellectual or whatever it is, but can I observe that the me is there, so very strong? Over, sir.
Thank you, Anandji. I think that is a question for all of us to answer. So there are no answers. I think Lakshmiji wants to say something, and then last will be from Dineshji, closing remarks. So Lakshmi, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Namaste. Anandji is very right. But what we are seeing, we are mistaking is, we want to find everything with the mind. And that I want to find out. The I is made up of the mind. As long as the mind is working, I and me are there. So we have to see, we are accustomed always to find out everything with this mind. But before finding out, we have to see the limitations of the mind. Before it was stopped, because the signal problem, it stopped. I did not stop. This is the thing what he is asking is a very genuine thing. But we have to see that we are working always with the limited mind, the mind which is of the past. We have to understand, not as Krishnaji said, we have to see ourselves. Does it belong to past or not? The mind is of the past only. Whatever we are thinking in the past, we recognize, we say, yes, it is. If we do not, then if the mind does not know, it cannot say it is. So we are always working with the past and past knowledge. So as long as this mind is working, I am there. So this is a very subtle thing, very sensitive thing also. And as freedom, I said we saying correctly, freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom not from any environment or a person. Freedom from our own thoughts, our own feelings, our own past knowledge, our own emotions. Freedom from my own anger, my own jealousy, my own attachment. Freedom is that. So, in that way, when we observe, understand the limitations of the mind, we shouldn't take the mind to find out all the things. The mind is useful for any technological work, or I want to find your house, then I have to use my mind and the past knowledge. But in all the things, this is not useful. That we have to understand ourselves. Everybody must feel, is it right? If it is right, only we have to follow. I feel the past knowledge is not useful for so many things, not for worldly things. That point we have to understand. And the me is also made because of the mind. The mind is making I and me. If the mind is not there, I am not there. So only seeing is there and finding is there. The experience is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmiji. I think we have just about 1 minute. So, Dineshji, please make it brief.
Yes, sir. What I want to, I agree with Madam as well as Anandji. One has to be sensitive and attentive, not to make any polarity of this new mind and old mind. There should be observation without the observer all the time.
Thank you. Thank you, Dineshji. I think we have come to the close of the session now. Sushilji, we can close now?
Please. Definitely, sir.
Yeah. So, thank you all. Next Sunday at 11 o'clock, we have Dr. Vandana Shiva. She is a physicist, a great environmentalist, and very famous. So you're all welcome to join at 11 o'clock. She's going to talk about environment and the earth. So you're all welcome at 11 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you all. Good night.
Thanks all.